What's good? What's good, man? It's Stackinkickz. I'm tapping in with y'all because, I know a lot of y'all probably heard about my mentorship program, definition of success. I just wanted to give a little insight on that so people understand, like, exactly, like, what we build and what the whole idea and the goal is and why it's called what it's called and whatnot. So, definition of success. In my mind is kind of like my own personal journey, and it comes with the need to define oneself. Um, and again, when we talk about success, we don't talk about money. We're not talking about fashion. We're not talking about materials. Typically, we're talking about the keen awareness of oneself, one's soul, and understanding, his or her placement, in the world, and how that translate into personal success, which means that you can become successful at whatever it is that you want to do with that, right? And so, looking at my journey, right, wanting to understand exactly how I came to be me. I get a lot of support, a lot of love, and thanks to all y'all that support everything that I do. A lot of encouraging words. It's just it's an amazing energy that I get to experience every day. I get to do what I love. I get to share my dreams, my goals, and I get to work on things that I'm passionate about, that I actually love doing. I love my mentorship to death. I love fashion. I love the brand. I love speaking. Love going to schools. Being able to take care of yourself as well. So it's a lot. It's a lot to do with it. It's not just one aspect of what success actually is, but most of it's internal. Most of it starts from your soul. So basically, what it is for me is how was I able to accomplish that? What did I do? What separated me, right? And I'm wanting to figure out what that formula was because I'm wanting to pass it down. I'm frustrated with the things that we've been taught in our society. I'm not happy with some of the formulas that we grew to learn from our community. I'm not happy with the philosophies that we learned in the streets. I'm not happy with the things that we get taught in the media, some of the things we get taught in music, some of the things we get taught in movies. I'm not happy with those things. I don't like the results. If you process those things and you take a look at the results, you realize they actually really don't work. They do way more harm than they do good, right? And so my thing is this. I think what separated me personally at the point where I started to separate, because remember, I was just like everybody else, exposed to the same environment, same patterns, same formulas, same mindsets, and I adopted them for a while until I realized my experiences, took me out, drained me pretty much, and so I didn't like them, and I didn't want them to ever come back again. And so taking a look back at my experiences and how I use that to take a deeper look into myself. I realized that what separated me was allowed me to be who I am and do the things that I do and have the love and the energy that I've created is because I was able to define myself, right? And so I was able to define myself in a world where everybody's doing the same thing, or the average person is doing the same thing, doing what they're given, taking the format of whatever was laid out for them, without questioning that and, or altering that or trying something different. We just go with it because that's all we see. And if you're a normal, average human being, you're going to do what you see. So is it anybody's fault? Nah, not technically. It ain't nobody's fault. I mean, it's a social issue. It's a community issue. It's a brainwashing issue. Even goes back to being an oppression issue. It's a lot of reasons why we think the way we think, where we come from. But my thing is this: the experiences aren't good. They aren't healthy. They're not productive, right? So I have to take a look at that and decide that, well, I'm not going to draw from that energy anymore. So how am I going to do this? I got to draw from my own energy. I got to do everything from internal instead of external. I got to look inside of me to bring out the joy, the love, the passion, the career, the conversation. It's got to come from somewhere else other than everything that's going on around me, right? And so And as you start doing that, you step more into your zone, right? You step more into who you're supposed to be. And you got to remember, nobody can be you like you, right? So if you too busy being other people and mimicking everything going on around you, well, then I think you drown yourself out a little bit. You become a needle in a haystack because everybody's doing that. But imagine you taking in, your own vibration and creating from that space, right? And starting to, illuminate this individual that's separate from everything going on around them, and carrying the type of light that you just really don't see anywhere else. And that's one of the things that allows you to take advantage of yourself as opposed to letting society take advantage of you. And so this is kind of where the concept of definition of success comes from, right? And so in my mind, especially me as a young black male, between the ages of 12 and 16 typically is usually what my mentees ages are, right? Because I see that as the age where man is trying to define himself. I'm trying to figure out who I am. I'm trying to figure out where I fit. I'm trying to figure out who I'm supposed to be, and trying to figure out how do I gain power? How do I become important? How do I become relevant? And when you look at that, we take all those, and if we don't have a role model and we don't have male influence or father figures, and then we take that energy from society and that becomes our answer. And so we really become like a mold into what's already going on, and those things technically aren't really fit to take us where we need to go to be ourselves, to take advantage of ourselves, right? And so so that's the whole idea, man. I mean, there's a lot more to it, but overall, it's getting a chance to define yourself before society defines you and puts you in a box and makes you disappear. And if we do this, we can create more, I think, more happy, a happier generation, a more productive, a more inspiring generation, because you're trying to create a society of a bunch of men and women all doing themselves typically, and staying out of comparison with everybody else and not mimicking, but doing things from the soul. And the kind of energy that creates in you, extremely powerful. It makes it difficult for you to be upset at the world and hate the world. You see it as something that you can conquer. And I think that's the reason why this class was important. I didn't necessarily have time for it. I'm extremely busy, but I felt it was important, and I felt like this is one of the things that I can do. Things that I think this is what I was created for, what I'm built for, and what I'm good at. So, with that being said, that's the definition of success, and we trying to unlearn and redefine ourselves, and trying to help kids discover themselves and work from that energy, so that they don't have to pull from energy of things that don't suit them from the outside world that's designed to destroy people that can't control their minds. So with that being said, stay tuned. We building something great. Summer program coming up next year. We're gonna do it big, man. Stackinkickz, we out.